Happy Friday, everybody. This is Rick from Shugo, and thanks for taking the time to join us here. We wanted to walk you through how we at Shugo work with 125 other plus payroll companies across the country. Now, I know we're a little bit new to the AdaptaSoft community, but we're not new to the payroll industry, so I thought it's beneficial to kind of walk you through how we work with these other companies, how they use some of the services that we have, both from a security perspective and an innovation perspective. So let me just go through some quick ground rules, I guess you can kind of call them. One is we will distribute copies of these slides after the webinar. So don't worry about if you're trying to take feverish notes. We will send out copies of the slides after the webinar. And two is when questions do come up, please use the question window inside of the GoToMeeting panel. Just type in your question at the end. I'll go through each question. I'll read them out loud, and I'll give you the answer as well. So what I wanted to kind of start with was just look at, on a high level, why payroll companies use Shugo. And there's really two main focuses, and one is security. We provide solutions that really help keep you secure and in compliance with some of the latest legislation out there. And two is innovation. One of the things that we try to do is provide our clients with something completely new and innovative not seen before in the payroll industry. And we realize that there's a lot of competition in the industry, especially when you're going against ADP and Paychex, etc. So we're able to provide some innovative features to give our clients kind of an edge out there, where competing on price and service alone doesn't really work as well anymore. So the innovation that we've brought to the industry has been receiving some rave reviews. First, let's concentrate on security, though, because that's really how we started. And I just wanted to kind of give you a quick view of why security is so important today. And I think you guys can all relate, being in the payroll industry, is that there is such a reliance on data. And we have a lot of vendors and partners that we work with. And we couple that with such an increase in media attention. I'm not just talking about standard media, but I'm talking about blogs and Twitters and how people can get access to information as quick as possible. We as consumers are pressuring businesses that we work with to be secure and to keep our data secure. We don't want our social security number or bank account numbers to be out there and open in the public. And in the end, what we've seen is the government has actually instituted legislation requiring levels of data encryption when we're transferring any sort of personally identifiable information. And, it's pretty easy to think about personally identifiable information as social security numbers, bank account numbers, and things of that nature. So just to give you the view is, I thought it would be beneficial to put out there that there is legislation that has been enacted. Some states have specifically put in data encryption legislation, which requires that anytime you are transferring any sort of sensitive info, socials, bank account numbers, etc., you need to use encrypted mechanism. Now, we give you that solution out of the box. There's nothing you have to do that's crazy or hard to work with. We give you that solution out of the box. Now, Massachusetts has the most stringent law, and you may not be located in Massachusetts, but you still may be affected by it because it applies to non-Massachusetts firms. The last legislation that I have down here is the Federal Secure File Sharing Act, which I thought is important to bring up. It doesn't affect you. It actually just affects government workers, but it's the result of the government doing a survey across all the government workers to identify how the government worker was transferring sensitive information. And what they found was 60% of government workers were using email to transfer sensitive information, and not just any email, but they were using their own personal Yahoo and Gmail accounts. So it's kind of scary when we can see socials and bank accounts being transferred that way. So the government instituted a law requiring government workers to use a secure file transfer mechanism. The second round of the legislation that we have is breach notification legislation. So the government says if you have incurred any sort of data breach, you are required to follow and implement a notification process. And let me tell you, It's lengthy and it can be expensive, because we've all probably have seen some of this in one way, shape, or form, because you may have received a letter that lets you know that XYZ company you did business with had some sort of hacker activity which resulted in a breach. Well, that's part of the breach notification process that the government has enacted that we follow if it does occur to us. When most people think of exchanging data, we think, well, email is secure. It's the complete opposite. Email is the utmost insecure method of transferring data. There are multiple ways to, easily hack into emails. Password protected files are not recommended ways either. Password protection does not mean encryption. Passwords themselves are easily hackable. And we don't have an audit when we just email a password protected file that A, it was delivered successfully, and B, the right person got it, because email in itself moves from server to server across the internet before it gets to your recipient. So there's, at any point in time, that email can be hacked and taken, and then the passwords files could be hacked as well. FTP is another option that people use. Itself, again, is not using encryption, and it's very costly to set up and maintain. So most people use secure file transfer mechanisms like what we offer at Shugo. Now, there's a lot of risks to not using a solution like this, and we break it down into two different categories. There's specific data breach cost, and what we found is in the services industry, on average, you incur $301 of cost per record that was breached. You may also incur government fines. But I think the more costly aspect is the business effects. And a lot of surveys show that if you do incur a hacking activity or a data breach, you could easily lose 20 to 40% of your client base overnight. And what we'll also find is your employee productivity will go down, because they're going to be spending more time on the breach than what they would trying to help grow your business and do their day-to-day actions. So there's a lot of risk here to not using a secure file transfer mechanism. And we tried to break it down that if you were $1 million business and you just sent a 100-record spreadsheet not using a secure file transfer mechanism, you could easily incur cost of over $235,000. So it's a lot of risk right there. And I think we can all probably say, pretty easy to say, you know what, we don't want to actually have that risk. So we want to make sure that we are protected. Now, with Shugo, we give that protection to our payroll clients. So our product File Guardian will give you the peace of mind when you're transferring files or you need to send a secure email that has any sort of associates or bank account numbers. We have an integration directly into Outlook. Your clients, they'll end up appreciating this level of security that you've implemented because you've taken the steps to protect their information. And again, people think security is difficult. File Guardian is not difficult. Ask any one of our payroll clients and they will tell you that it is a very simple and easy process to follow. Many of our clients have implemented rules across not just their employees but across their entire client base that says they will not accept any sort of sensitive information unless it comes through the File Guardian application. So with File Guardian, there is the protection to send out data from your office, but also there's security in receiving information from your clients with File Guardian. So it's very easy for your clients to go to a portal that we host on your behalf, and most of our clients link to this directly from their website. If they need to send a new hire form or a direct deposit authorization, or if you also do accounting work, if you need to get a QuickBook backup file from your clients, File Guardian provides that out of the box. I mentioned here that we work with 125 payroll companies across the country, but we also work with a large number of CPAs as well. They use File Guardian to transfer tax returns and any sort of notices that are received from the government back and forth between the clients. So, real quickly on the security standpoint, File Guardian provides you all the data encryption and security that you need to be secure from hacking activity, to transfer information securely, and to be in compliance with the government legislation. Now, that's one part of what we offer here at Shugo, but the second part, which I think is the more interesting part, at least for me, is the innovation side in the payroll industry. So I want to kind of walk you through what are some of the innovations that we brought to the apparel industry, specifically our product called Push. Now, I thought here Danny Klein kind of put it best when he mentioned to me this quote, and he basically said, you know, continually Shugo is setting the standard for the payroll industry. And payroll software companies that are smart are joining us, or they're going to have to try to find a solution themselves for what we're able to bring to the market. Now, luckily for us is, you know, we've been able to forge this great relationship with AdaptaSoft, and we'll be partnering with them to bring you these innovations here. So our Push product is really what I wanted to focus on, and I wanted to give you some of the inspirations that we have to Push. And it's really around, you know, getting instant access to information, and it's really think about it, the Twitter, the Facebook, how you can instantly get access, you know, alerts. You can instantly see what's going on in real time. You can get everything on any device that you have, whether it's a PC or your cell phone or your tablet. These applications have been bringing the need now that we saw in the payroll industry. They need to get payroll information to your clients as quick as possible. So Push will provide instant access to essential payroll information delivered to any cell phone or device. David Gallagher, who is the founder and CEO of Dominion Payroll Services, I think they service about 1,500 clients, said to me, listen, Push is truly the next generation of reporting for business owners, and also expand that to employees as well, because Push can also get information to employees directly on their phone. So again, Push is centered around something happening in payroll and getting your clients access to this information as quickly as possible. As an example, I'm a business owner. My payroll's run. I never, ever, ever look at my payroll reports. I know it's taboo, but I hardly ever look at my payroll reports. But I'm really concerned about one thing. How much money do I need in my bank account to fund the payroll? And my payroll provider uses Push so that I can get the text message. And again, I'm focusing here on text messages, but Push can also be an email instead of a text message. But I can get that alert when my payroll processes to let me know what my cash requirement is for that payroll. So now, if I'm on the go or I'm out of the office, I can easily see what needs to be in my bank account. Now, again, as an employee, I'm probably a bad employee as well. I never, ever look at my pay stub. But I bet you've asked almost all the employees, they care about two things on payday. One is what's their net pay amount, and two is what's deposited into their bank account. Push has that capability as well. So the employee can be notified, hey, for this payday, this is what your net pay amount is, and this is what's scheduled to go into your bank account. Again, some new innovation that you'll be able to have that the ADPs, the Paychecks, and the Ceridians do not have. In the future, we're going to expand Push to also deal with PTO balances, so an employee can get their PTO balances via Push as well. And one of the things with Push is not only does Push do, you know, the push of the information, Push can also handle requests. So how many of you have seen with your bank account the ability that you can text BAL to your bank and they'll return back to you your latest account balance? Well, think about that in the PTO world. An employee could text PTO to your text message phone number and get their PTO balance responded, you know, instantly to them. Great value, great features. No one else has this sort of capabilities out there in the marketplace. So again, Push is the way to help you stand out from those big payroll companies. Service and price are ways that are not, you know, you cannot compete just on that alone these days. We've been seeing that across all of our client base. Push is the way to truly stand out. Payroll cash requirements. We're implementing payroll input reminders to automatically remind clients that their payroll is due today. The employee net pay and scheduled direct deposit alerts, and the employee PTO balances. So this is the essence of Push, giving you the capability to text or email your clients, and again, it'll all be automated, specific pieces of payroll information that truly helps you stand out and helps you compete against those big payroll providers out there. So I just wanted to kind of take a quick poll now just to kind of get a feeling for what you think of Push based off of what we're just kind of talking about here. So if you can kind of just give me an answer real quick, what do you think about Push? Is it something that you're excited about? You're kind of like, ah, it's kind of nice, but I don't know if we're really going to be able to deal with Push. And I just wanted to kind of get a feel for what you're thinking. And also that'll help me kind of answer some of the questions that we have out here as well. So I see some of the people here have voted. I'm going to wait another 30 seconds and we'll get everybody in the vote. And then we'll close the poll and we'll give the answers here. So, okay, great. So it looks like we kind of had a 50-50 split on the answers. So the 50-50 split was, hey, this is really going to set my business apart versus this sounds great, but I'm scared it's going to be hard to implement. Well, let me show you how you set up Push for a client within FileGuardian, and then everything from there is actually very simple and easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my test versions of FileGuardian here. So let me bring this over and show you. So I'm actually logging in. This is the same solution that has the security solutions plus the Push integration. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our My Files area. And within My Files, I'm going to say, you know what? I want to set up a new client within here. I'm going to call this my Push company. You know, it doesn't really matter, whatever the client name is. And once I'm in here, what you're going to see is I'm going to easily activate Push. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say, you know what? Within AdaptaSoft, their client code Push1, and I'm going to click Save. And the next thing I'm going to do is say, you know what? In the Push tab, I want to set up a cash requirement email alert, and I'm going to add a new contact and say this is Joe Push. Here's Joe's email address. I don't need Joe's cell phone because in this case I'm going to do an email alert versus a text message alert. And I click Save. Well, guess what? I'm done. When payrolls process, our team and the AdaptaSoft development team are working on the integration so that it's seamless. AdaptaSoft will notify Shugo, this client's payroll has just run. Here's the pertinent information for Push. And Push will automatically look at the subscriptions you have set up for the client and deliver the alerts. It's as simple and easy as that. I can set up multiple subscriptions for a client as well. So if I have a client, if I want to do another contact with the client, but this time I'm going to do an SMS message, you know, maybe this is Mary Push. Let me put in Mary's name. And because I'm going to do a cell phone, an SMS message, I need to put her phone number. I'm going to use my phone number here. And I'm going to save that. Well, now Mary will receive that via text message. So I just wanted to kind of show you this so you can see setting this up is not difficult. It's actually very, very simple. You just pick the type of Push subscription, choose the recipient, and save. The integration between Shugo and AdaptaSoft is what makes this possible. There's nothing you need to touch from now on. So I hope that gives you a sense that this is actually pretty simple and pretty easy. There's really not much you need to do to it. You just set up the client once, and all the integration that's in process today will do the rest for you. So some exclusive offers. First thing is, if you want to get started with the FileGuardian security and be the first in line when the FileGuardian Push is available for AdaptaSoft clients, there's a free 60-day trial. We'll include free training for your entire team. If you do sign up today, we will give you the first 30 days of Push free as well when we roll that out there for the AdaptaSoft market base. So these are just some exclusive offers that we wanted to share with you today. What I'm going to do is I see one or two questions have come in. I'm going to read the questions out loud and give you the answers. And obviously, if you have any more questions, just type them in the box, and I'll be sure to get to them. So the first question is, do you have to set up each employee for net pay push? And the answer to that is you do not have to set up each employee. You can go employee by employee. If you do want to set up the employee, you can maintain that employee list as the payroll provider, or you can give your client the ability to maintain their employee push setup as well. We realize that not every payroll provider is going to want to do all the employee maintenance, so that's why we do have the capability that you can allow your client within FileGuardian to set up and maintain their employee list. So good question there. So again, the answer is not every employee needs to be set up with a net pay push reminder. You can pick and choose. And for the setup piece themselves, you and your team can do it, or you can enable the client to maintain their employee push subscriptions as well. Great question. Any other questions from anybody on anything, on the security aspect of FileGuardian, excuse me, on the integration aspect, on push? Feel free to type it in the box. If you want to reach out to me afterwards, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email afterwards as well. What I'll actually do here is I'm going to type my email address and phone number in here, so if you want to do that as well, you can take that down. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you have as well. Again, these offers are here. We'd love to add you to the Shugo community so that you can really truly stand out from those other big payroll companies with the innovations that we're able to bring to the market. We're excited to be working with AdaptaSoft and how they've welcomed us with open arms. We look forward to a great future together and a great way to help you guys stand out from the crowd. So without anything else, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions, and if not, have a great day, have a great weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future.